Yes, both of them very smart students, first of all. Both of them are over 3.7, 3.8. So I think that plays a big part in their ability to retain information and process information.
Did you, first of all, how long had you been working with each of them?
Justin since the 6th grade and Trevor since the 7th grade.
Wow, so you've gotten to really see them kind of come along. Was there, was there early signals that like, hey, these two are a little bit different, or was there a point in which it kind of registered to you that these guys are really, really good?
Yeah, you knew early on, and Trevor kind of bloomed earlier, and Justin a little later than Trevor, but both of them had tremendous talent, and one thing they did really well, both of them worked really hard. They had tremendous work ethic.
Yeah.
No stacking around, no playing. When they came to work, they came to work.
When you talk about sort of that development when they come around, is there things that as a quarterback coach you are kind of looking for as sort of benchmarks, and when you kind of see something click that you kind of know that things have happened, and is there any moments that kind of stick out to you with either of those guys that was obvious to you?
Well, I think the first time you see them throw a ball at that age kind of knew it was special. Even though Justin kind of fell a little later with his body than Trevor. Trevor was always a big kid.
Mm-hmm.
Justin was more a smaller, little thicker, chunky kid, but he started 9th grade, 10th grade, he started to grow and get to the height he is now. So it was already there. It was just them working on it to bring it out of themselves. Refining their footwork, tightening up their game, understanding coverages at the high school level, just constantly working on it.
Yeah. So, I know in talking to enough people around both of them that they're both very driven guys, and obviously have a desire to make an impact from day one. How did you feel like they shaped up as sort of being prepared for, I'm sure you have a pretty good idea of what it's like to step onto campus for that first time and sort of have all that stuff thrown at you when you get to spring practice or fall camp or whenever it is. How did you feel like those two were prepared for what they were getting themselves into?
This is my opinion, and some might differ with it. I think by them playing early, like 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, they got a lot of games under their belts. They got to play in high-level competition in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
They got a chance to succeed and have success. And so that part of the game, they don't have to deal with it. For us, like, I'm already stepping into something that's already big, but I come from something that was a little bit big, too, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's almost like I didn't come from a smaller place to a bigger place. I just kind of transferred over to something a little bigger.
Yeah. So, when you're working with kids, I mean, did you feel like they kind of, obviously, like you say, Justin needed to kind of grow into his body a little bit more so, but did you see like sort of a raw skill set there from the beginning that you as a coach are kind of enthusiastic and excited to get to refine?
Yes. And that's what we did from 9th grade to 10th grade. Once he started playing baseball or like the travel baseball, he was able to lock in and do some more sessions and refine his technique. And he really worked hard from his 9th grade year to his 11th grade year.
Yeah.
When the other officers started coming in, he really put his work in to get better.
Is there, I hate to sort of boil anything down to sort of simple comparisons, but is there anybody that you've kind of worked with over the years that either of those two guys sort of reminds you of, just maybe not even in terms necessarily of like their, build or physique or whatever, but just in sort of how they handle themselves in terms of study, or how they handle themselves in terms of work, or how they handle themselves in terms of processing information and all that?
Yeah, a kid that I work with, he went to Davidson. His name is Jonathan Karkuff. And he started 4 years there, and a kid named Chandler Whitmer. He started 3 years at Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also beneficial in their life is working with me with Justin the Edge.
Oh, really? Okay.
Chandler Whitman is.
Awesome. So, and have you stayed in touch with them much? I know I saw Justin had put on Instagram a few months ago about the two of them working out together. Have you been in contact with them as sort of these early months of their college careers have played out?
Yeah, I just worked Trevor out this past Tuesday.
Oh, wow, okay.
And Justin about maybe 3 weeks ago. So I work them out when they come home, or Justin's close enough where I can drive to go work him out.
Yeah. So what do you, when you've talked to them, does it, or even when you go through a workout with them, have you seen progress from just the, when you sent them off sort of like proud papa to college, when you sent them off to when you come back and work with them recently, do you see some progression there already?
Yeah. I think they came into school as ready as they can be. Mm-hmm. And now, did they have to adjust to the speed of the game? Yes. Did they have to adjust to the playbook? Yes. But I think they made that transition pretty smoothly because both of them was continually work on their game,
Mm-hmm. Do you, what was it like for you kind of getting to work with two guys who are, end up being the number 1 and number 2 recruits in the country and have all of this kind of hype around them? How did they handle it, and what did you kind of think of the experience?
They handled it really well. They're two humble kids, and I feel like they never let it get to their head. It was just something that the media created, and they just dealt with it when they had to deal with it,
Are they friendly, I guess? I mean, obviously, if they're working out a little bit, but have you, did they keep in touch throughout recruiting process, or did you have, work out with both of them at times or anything like that?
Yeah, they're cordial. They're good friends. They see each other. They've been seeing each other since, for 2 years before all this happened, right? Mm-hmm. And then the thing is, like I just said, they didn't pay it too much mind. It's just let other people talk about them. They would never mention that they're this or they're that. And they always been that way. Very humble kids. Very, very respectful children towards any and everything. It's like if a kid came up and said, I want to take a picture with you, they never big time them or anything. Mm-hmm. We was in Chick-fil-A one day watching film with Trevor. This older lady came and said, "May I take a picture with you?" You Trevor Lawrence lady. He stopped what he was doing and took a picture with her. But it's just the fact that both of them are humble, they're respectful, they come from good parents. And to me, it was just Trevor and Justin. I never thought about them being this or that.
Yeah.
I just worked with them, and they high school coaches have to get a lot of credit because they work with them too. And we just put together a great team and made it happen, I guess.
Yeah, the other thing that I wanted to ask you, too, I mean, as a coach, especially when you have two guys at the high school level who are as talented as they are, talent can get you a long way, I guess. How enthusiastic were they about taking coaching, about trying to get better?
It's the thing. That's why they are what they are.
Yeah.
They accept coaching because they wanted to get better. They wanted to be good. They want to be the best. And that's not being cocky. That's just the way they work. They work on their game. They constantly work on their game.
Yeah, there's, I feel like there's a difference among guys, and talent, like I said, can take you a long way, but there's the guys who truly love doing the work, and that's sort of a big separator between, the ones who are very talented and then the ones who actually, really blossom into something special.
Yeah, I don't think they sat there and say, I'm the number 1, number 2 quarterback of recruit in the country. I think they just said, I want to be better than the next guy. I want to be better for myself.
Yeah.
And that's why they work the way they work. I mean, they worked on the little details to the point where they kind of